These are some of the coolest mounted combating dinosaurs I've ever seen. Dr. Brian Curtis with Fossil Crates on location at the amazing Eccles Dinosaur Park. And we're here with curator and chief paleontologist Jeff Bond. And we are talking about two of my favorite animals. The top one is Ceratosaurus nasocornus. And this bottom one is Tanycolagreus top wilsoni. And these are some of the coolest mounted combating dinosaurs I've ever seen. Reminds me of the old Laelaps painting of the old days.
Yeah, I bet
But
that's what it's based on.
Jeff, take it away. Tell us about
Sure.
what you think of these.
Well, it's really interesting that you've got these two guys that are this similar of size, but this one is a juvenile, and so the as an adult it would be even more of a bully. But right now, I kind of wonder about the motivation on this guy. Like,
Maybe they're being friendly and they're just like, hey, roughhousing.
yeah, it's like Fox and the Hound, right?
Yeah, there you go. Because why would so Ceratosaur, fairly basal, four-fingered theropod. It's got a cool nose horn. It has osteoderms not on display here that run down its
Yeah.
back. And then you've got Tanycolagreus, which is what, a Coelurosaur? I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, this guy floats around all over the place. Sometimes he ends up as a tyrannosauroid. Sometimes he's closer to Maniraptora. Uh, we're not sure. We just know that it's very similar to Coelurus, but distinct.
And what's great about you, wonderful, is if you go to the Museum of Ancient Life, this holotype is on display.
Yeah.
And I was around when they were prepping this out. Was Bone Cabin Quarry?
I think so. Yeah.
So when they were laying it out, they realized that this thing wasn't Ornitholestes and it wasn't Coelurus, that this was its own unique genus. And in the process of solving all of this, they were able to identify additional bones that went to like Ornitholestes. They were able to go back to the material at the AMNH and say, nope, that does go with that and that doesn't. So the importance of excavating and of continuing new finds every single time you find something. And now the whole skeleton, this is a lot of this is cast or is manufactured, but the hind limbs, the forelimbs, they have some beautiful material of this animal. When this animal here, this big beast, like you say, Christy, if you'll pivot, an adult is more like the size of this Allosaurus here. A Ceratosaurus gets underplayed in size. It really gets done dirty by the public because it is a big beast. And we have over to the right of that as part of the halls, Torvosaurus. Now that's what I call old school Torvosaurus. The new school Torvosaurus that Fossilogic sold to the Cincinnati Museum. I can't wait. That paper should be coming out next year, if not this year. Its skull is longer and lower, more like a sinister Spinosaur Carcharodontor.
Allosaurus, Elvis. That's the nickname of the specimen. It looks wicked. I love how it's got such a distinct look to it. And like this isn't a bad guess at it, but it's old and it's based on incomplete material.
Yeah, when that was done, it was found, it was named in 79, and they made a cast shortly thereafter of the holotype material, which is at Brigham Young University right down the road. And they had the pre-max, part of the max, and they were Allosaurus experts. If you think about the folks who actually made it, and they put Allosaurus on steroids, but that is a megalosaur. It is an old school, just a big, brutal beast. Torvosaurus is, and we'll address Torvo in a minute. So back to these two, though. This animated pose. The great thing that you can do with casts that you can't easily do or should not do with original material is poses like this.
Yeah.
The dynamism, the emotion that this evokes. You just wouldn't be doing this if you were using original material. Or what do you think?
Well, I think this is an absolute work of art, and it goes to show that there is artistry to paleontology, and we need to be really careful about keeping that artistry in a proper sort of a context. When we're doing a skeletal mount like this, getting the artistry right can often help us come up with new hypotheses of, how things are articulating and some of the fine anatomical details. But if we let the artistry take take the lead on that, then we end up with all sorts of problems that are well noted. I mean, think about the iguanodons in Belgium. Right. Like having to break those tails to get them into that pose. That's the artistry kind of going a little bit ahead of itself, the hypothesis informing the facts. When they had them all articulated and there's actually a droop, it goes the opposite way. That's why they had to break them.
Along those lines, I got to tell you, breaking zygapophyseal articulation drives me bonkers. And the old timers had to know that the tails didn't drag. I don't understand how they allowed that to happen historically, because when you put together a vertebra, the pre-zag articulates with the post-zag. And if you put them together, now there's a range of motion. There's just maybe a synovial capsule to limit it. But all of these, what I was noticing, none of these are out of articulation. None of these vertebrae on this mount have these big gaps that you often see in museums. So kudos to the team that mounted this.
Oh yeah, very, very well done. I know Rick Hunter was a part of at least the original mount, and he said that his dog liked it whenever he did this sort of a thing, because he would give him massages to figure out where his ribs were and how they were articulating, and the dog's just like, oh yeah.
If you don't know Rick Hunter, Rick is one of the kindest, gentlest, most wonderful people to work with.
Love him.
And he is also camera shy. We have tried for years to get him on camera, and Rick has been like, nah, I'm good. He works behind the scenes, but he makes things happen. Hi, Rick.
Yeah. Did get him on camera once.
Really?
Yeah, it was for what was the name of the program? It was like a like an Antiques Roadshow or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but I was working in the lab part of that filming process and got to see that. And yeah, poor Rick, he was definitely like, okay, I guess I'm on camera. Now I'm getting off as soon as possible. So,
a whole bunch of
awesome. We love you.
Absolutely. So beautiful mount. We're here at the Eccles Dinosaur Park. If you get a chance, if you find yourself just slightly north of Salt Lake City, absolutely worth your time and effort to stop by. Not only does it have a spectacular museum, but an actual park with really cool looking life-size plus statues.